Om Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsashanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedair Sangabadakramo Upanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Dadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyaham Tam न विदुस्सुराः सुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hari Om.
You.
Yes, I'll let you set the
Yes.
context.
Yes. So we are having a in between chapter 4 and chapter 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. We are exploring the layers of the mind and how neuroscience is connected to higher levels of consciousness and lower levels of consciousness. So we are brainstorming about neuroscience and Vedanta, the connectivity, if any. So Rahul ji has already set the ball rolling with the session on the same, and today we continue with it. Yes, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Namaste, Hari Om, Atmajyoti. Yes, yes, I'll just share one image, and you might have seen this. ಕೆಲವರು ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. Just curious to know what your understanding of this image is. Yeah, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
What do you think this image could be representing? I loved it when I found it actually. So. Pretty much, ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ by any chance ಇದು? Have you seen?
ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. First time I'm seeing it. Looks like a soap bubble. Yeah.
Soap bubble, yeah. Simplistic representation of something very profound. So, yeah. It is the three philosophies, the Advaita, Dvaita, and Vishishta Advaita.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I found it very simple and very profound. So, Advaitadalli, there's just one, there are no two, rather there's just one existence. Really. Dvaitadalli, the Jivatman and Paramatman are two separate entities. And Vishishta Advaitadalli, the supreme entity is one, but adrolligade the Parabrahman manifests itself as multiple entities within the Parabrahman itself. So that it's a simple diagram that I found.
Beautiful.
So it sort of brings us to the question again. Sorry, I think ನನ್ನ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ನನಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So the question again is about consciousness only. If we are taking the bigger bubble as consciousness only, and the smaller bubbles as the mind's game, so somewhere I had seen this equation. I think Prabhuji helidda. I'm not able to recollect, but Parabrahman plus ego, or Paramatman plus ego, is equal to Jivatman. Right? So, or
Maya.
Maya. Or so, and the flip of the equation would be Jivatman minus ego is equal to Paramatman. So
True. Very, neatly put.
So now last session only we had started discussing about consciousness ugly, and the simple definition of the mind being a bundle of thoughts in action. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, those scientists also, they mention neuroscientists, that it's physiologically the mind is the brain in action anta neuroscientists ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. In philosophy we can take the mind is our thoughts in action. So a bundle of thoughts.
Wait. Vedantali, mind is a bundle of thoughts. The world is thoughts in action. The world is thoughts in action.
Absolutely.
All right.
ನನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಶೇರ್ಡ್ ಅ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ದ ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು PBS ಅನ್ನೋ ಚಾನೆಲ್ದು. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲಿ ದೇವ್ ಶೋನ್ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ information. About 90% of the information that it is receiving through the eyes and ears, especially when we are navigating through the environment, more than 90% of the information it is removing, it is deleting, because it just wants whatever is necessary to survive ಅಂತ.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Yeah. Like for example, our eyes are not seeing ultraviolet and infrared or X-rays because ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ then our
Purna.
ನಮ್ಗೆ ನ್ಯಾವಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಬಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ those spectrum colors also.
True.
And the question again, our ears can only perceive between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz as decibels.
Correct.
We didn't choose that I don't want to listen to 19 hertz and 20,001. The brain chose because this is enough for me to survive. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರೋ ಅಲ್ಟ್ರಾಸಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಂಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಲೈಕ್ ಹೌ ಡಾಗ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಲೋವರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ 20 hertz. If we have that power, it will actually become more disturbing to us than helpful. So the brain has very intelligently decided, let me delete these information when I am receiving it. And ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ನ್ಯಾವಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಅ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೌ ಲೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರೂತ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಪರ್ಸೀವಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ಐಮ್ sort of walking on the wall of science and Vedanta ಎರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯ ಗೋಡೆ ಮೇಲೆ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಡೇವಿಡ್ ಚಾಲ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲೂ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬುಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಂತ, ಡೇವಿಡ್ ಚಾಲ್ಮರ್ಸ್. So he beautifully is trying to say that existence is there, materialistic nature is very much there, but it is not what we are perceiving. Simple. So something is there. We don't know what that thing is, but if I hold out a pen and ask what is this to anyone, they can say this is a pen. But in reality, it might be something else. But because of our limited perception of the universe, I am able to see this as a pen. Another being might be seeing this as something else. The pen is something else. So I think so. I want to continue from the last session in the two videos that I wanted to share. One is this. So this is quite a viral video that is coming up right now. It's called Oscar anta. Oscar, the modular body anta. Right. So I'll just play the video before I can explain it. Okay. So adralle nimge audio ಕೇಳಿಸಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ. Let me just ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತದಲ್ಲ? I'll just go to full screen. Yeah. ನೋಡಿ.
We're looking at Oscar, the first human modular prototype that is able to live in various setups. What's going to happen is that I'm going to connect the brain to the heart module to activate the blood circulation. Now, the lung is going to start breathing. You can see both organs are now collaborating. I can add a kidney module. And if I add a limb module, I start actuating the organism to move. Now it's looking for the optimal temperature, which is 37 degrees. If I add another limb, Oscar will recognize it and beneficiate from the possibilities.
So this is, I want to just pause and ask you, what do you think? What do you think of it? I was shocked when I witnessed this video.
It is shocking.
Yeah. They're actually replicating an organism na fully they replicate ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. So he had a brain module and a heart module and a lungs module, and it is actually partly made of silicone sort of material, like flesh replicating material. So I was just discussing before we started the session Purnimaji jothe. So Ex Machina movie if they replaced that robotic body with this flesh like material, we will finally not know that it is AI at all. So that is the case. So this modular body, those of you who saw this for the first time, basically ಆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ತರ ಅವ್ರು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ this particular brain module ಅನ್ನೋದು is sending the necessary electrical signals for that part to behave like an actual human part. Right? And he mentions that the moment ಅದೊಂದು limb ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ಕೈ ತರ ಒಂದು limb ಹಾಕಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ it started moving towards heat because it wants to regulate its body temperature. So survival instinct ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ feel
Intelligence.
ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
slowly, if you install different sensations and perceptions enable ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, it is becoming an actual organism itself. So that is one thing. So, but the bigger question is, it has sensations and perceptions, but does it have consciousness? Right. So that was the question which I had when I heard the first case of cloning also that they did. Cloning
Correct.
when they made the sheep.
Lamb. Yes.
Lamb Dolly and now the sheep lamb ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ. I mean, I had asked this question because earlier, as a young boy, my understanding also was that the soul is an extra element, right? So something comes and occupies your body. The soul ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಂದು ಬಾಡಿಲಿ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಟು ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಗುರೂಸ್ ಹೂ ವಾಸ್ ಮೈ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ ಗುರು ಇಸ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲೋನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡಾಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಶೀಪ್ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಬೈ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಶೀಪ್ and they replicated it multiple times in a laboratory setup and they let it grow into a full sheep.
Correct.
But how did it get an Atman inside it?
Atman ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತು?
Extra souls na ನಾವೇನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. So they were able to replicate the organism by replicating the cells.
Material can be replicated.
So it
ಚೈತನ್ಯ.
ಅದೆಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ was my question. I would like to throw that question to all of us.
Okay, throw that question. Yes. How will that come and or does it come and occupy the material body?
ಅದು how I mean, does it know ಇದು naturally reproduce ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ ಇದು or it was created in a laboratory ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸೋಲ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು? How will it decide that I am supposed to occupy? This was a young boy's question. I think I was in my 7th or 8th standard aವಾಗ. But later, of course, later on, I sort of started connecting a few more dots on consciousness and how things are happening at that. But I'd like to hear from all of you. What do you think happened there?
What do you think happened? How does it know?
They even went on to actually create a full cattle shed of cows. On the other image, I think there are some 15 or 20 cows that they cloned. And all of them were moving around. All of them were eating the hay ತಿನ್ನೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಹುಲ್ ತಿನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು like proper cows only. How did the Atman come into that cow? Was the question. I would like to.
Yes. Yeah, very interesting. ಹೌದು.
I would invite contemplations.
Share? Yeah, that is where absolutely ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅದು ಬಂದು ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಾಡ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಐ ಮೀನ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ದೇ ವರ್ ಆನಿಮೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ದೇ ವರ್ ಆಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ? ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್? ಸುಮಾ, ಜಯಶ್ರೀ, ಅನು, ಎನಿ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್?
Clone, again, for those of you maybe who have not heard about a clone before, CLONE, clone is when they actually take one particular cell. Now, human beings also, we are also born through a sperm and an ovum that fuses together.
Correct.
So ಅದೇ ತರನೇ stem cells ಅಂತ they take a particular cell from a living being and that stem cell will have the necessary DNA to blow it and expand it or replicate it further to make it into a complete organism.
Correct.
ಹೇಗೆ
Correct.
ಒಂದು ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಫುಲ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಬಂತು, ಅದೇ ಥರನೇ ಇದನ್ನ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ರೇಟರಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫುಲ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಶರೀರದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ನ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸೆಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮನ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕಟಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ನೇಲ್ಸ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಿಮಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ಹೇರ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ they are all part of my body, but I'm trimming them off. So but because I'm trimming them off, I am not my existence is not stopping. Ada ಈಗ ನಾನು because my wife is also a doctor, I was asking her this question: is there one single cell in our body which if removed I stop existing?
No, that is the fundamental question asked by Ramana, no?
ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಇಂದ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಅ ಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್. I don't stop existing. It will hurt, it will pain, but I don't stop existing. In liver, when people go through some liver issues also, there are cases where they have actually sliced off the liver portion itself when it is damaged, but the person doesn't stop existing, right? So bypass surgery, heart ಮಾಡುವಾಗ cut ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, so a little bit of the heart cells will also get damaged, but the person doesn't stop existing. So every kidney remove ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, but still the person doesn't stop existing. So where am I existing? So where am I, the capital I, existing in the body, if no part of my body is responsible for my existence ಅಂತ? ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲದ್ರಿಂದನೂ ನಾವು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸೆಲ್ನ ತೆಗೆದ್ರು I don't die as such. I mean, I don't stop existing. I will use the word I don't stop existing.
Correct.
So where am I exactly then? And that's another proof for I am not the body.
Yes.
So ಹಂಗಿರೋ ಕಂಡೀಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಡಾಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಶೀಪ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಫುಲ್
ಜೀವಾತ್ಮ came and started functioning.
Yes. So something external should have happened there, because when they removed one stem cell from the existing real sheep, the soul didn't come along with it. The original sheep continued to live, but stem cell ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ the soul duplicate ಆಯ್ತಾ ಅಂತ.
ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ this question has been addressed. I am not very ಪ್ರಭುಜಿನ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. there is a Q&A regarding this.
Okay.
Upanishad, I think it is Aitareya or Brihadaranyakaನಲ್ಲಿ, at what stage, even in the mother's body, like how you show, that is what's happening. Alva? It's just a material this thing which is happening. At the physical level, things are happening. I think that zygote or whatever, that fetus, Ashraya is the Chaitanya of the mother's body. Alva? It is deriving everything from the mother. But that individuality ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಂದು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. Will specific Jivatma come and occupy that particular mass?
Correct. Yeah.
I think the answer was 7th or 8th month. I'm not sure, but according to Vedanta.
Correct. What I mean, again, I would invite any other response yaradru idre before I share my thoughts.
Yeah.
Jayashree, or I think she's
gone. Yeah, Yenappa, Jayashree, any thoughts? I'm not sure where she is muted.
So, at this clear distinction between science and Vedanta, or maybe that the place where they merge, there is a particular configuration of our cells. When that configuration happens, consolidation of the cells in one particular configuration adaga, the Chaitanya is able to express itself. So it is not an extra Jivatman on the smoke tara bandan body na occupy martu. That was the old understanding I had. Ivaga our Swami Arsha Bodha anta avaridare, Swami Tadatmananda. He beautifully explains everything has consciousness. Even a pen has consciousness, a leaf has consciousness. So But
It
the
can't.
consciousness that we have is in this particular shape and form of our cells getting together. ಅವಾಗ ಆ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಚೈತನ್ಯ gets the opportunity to express itself.
The consciousness is sleeping in a rock.
It's always there. In fact.
4 degrees are there.
Degrees, ಹೌದು.
Sleeping in a rock and plant, animal, human move 4 degrees.
ನೀವು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅದನ್ನ in one of the previous
So in the
sessions.
pen it is sleeping, correct.
So even the 7th month of that zygote, the cells replication have happened enough for Chaitanya to
protect the antahkarana.
So experience, the inner experience has started. So probably the rock also has an inner experience for heat, cold, ella, but
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಅದು ಜೀವಾತ್ಮ ಸೋಲ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಸೋಲ್ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂತು ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ.
correct.
The ವಾಸನಾ ಬ್ಯಾಗೇಜ್ ವಿಚ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ವಾಸನಾ ಬ್ಯಾಗೇಜ್ ಒಂದು ಸಟಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಶರೀರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗೋಗಿದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಶರೀರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಕ್ಲೋನ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಅದಾಗತ್ತಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು
ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ.
because it is very much living.
Very interesting.
So that configuration, so neuroscientists are very clearly saying that consciousness is an emergent phenomenon. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಬಂದು ಸೇರಿದಾಗ that set of neurons will become conscious ಅಂತ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. It's the flip. So now we are saying all of these neurons are also activating in consciousness ಅಂತ Vedanta is saying. But neuroscience is saying consciousness is emergent, and it happens because the neurons are getting in this particular formation.
The hard problem,
The hard problem. So the subjective experience, for example, this organism Oscar that we just saw now, if he created 10 of it, okay, 10 ಪಕ್ಕ ಇಟ್ಟು he fit one in the module na fix ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ, if all of it move towards the heat source in a temp, because they want to be at the same optimal temperature, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ it is mechanical. I mean, it is like a pre-programmed thing ತರ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ನಾವು. So there is experience, but we don't know if it is subjective experience. Now, for example, he has 10 Oscars and he has some 5 different sources of heat which is giving different amounts of heat. Right? Now if we see ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ he releases, and then he sees one might go to one which is the highest heat, one might go to one which is the slightly lesser heat. How is it choosing now? Right? So avaga subjective experience banta annada. So that is those are the thought contemplations I'm trying to.
Very interesting. Yes.
So with that, I will just move to this video from Ex Machina movie in the one particular scene, which again, I mean, it makes us question how sure am I that I myself am not AI, which was created by some other higher being many years ago. Unknown question barsate. So let me just play this part. So just to give the context of the video, this lady that you see here is actually it's the AI robot who a particular software engineer an AI engineer has developed. And this boy is one of the software engineers working in that scientist's company, whoever has developed this particular robot. So what they are trying to do is they do something called the Turing test. Turing, Turing. It is named after a person called Alan Turing. Alan Turing, he came up with this concept where you test a machine, or an AI or a machine, to that extent where the machine performs so well that the human is not able to differentiate whether it is a robot or a actual human being ಅಂತ, right? ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ನಾವು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಯ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಯು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಸೊ if somebody has never known anything about AI, about chat bots ಅಂತ ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ, they will think that it is an actual person who has come to chat with me ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ವಾ. So I've heard of cases where some grandmothers have actually started sharing their personal problems with a chatbot on a travel website. ಈ ಥರ ನಂಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳಾಗ್ತದೆ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ದೇವ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟೈಪಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಇದು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಥಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಫೈನಲಿ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಟು ಅಂತ, ರೈಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಟ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ AI to a certain extent where the human being says, I actually didn't know that I was speaking to an AI machine. I thought it was a human only anta, right? So the movie, the essence is that only this scientist has created a particular AI robot and he wants to see consciousness annad bandide avalige anta. Is she having that subjective experience annadan bandide anta he wants to test. So he's using this boy here, Caleb Bantan his, so he's using this boy as the subject to continuously interact with this robot, and our experience ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, what is he experiencing during his interactions with this robot ಅಂತ. So every day he gets into this particular laboratory space where this robot is kept inside a glass room, and glass chamber ಒಳಗಡೆ this robot is kept, and he comes and sits in this space and he interacts with this robot every day. ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಬಂದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. And they both are trying to understand each other. He is trying to understand the robot is trying to understand him, both ways, right? So this is midway through the conversations, andre sumarsali meet madagide avanu, right? And they have actually built a rapport, they have one friendship built agide, and allinda this conversation starts. So I'll just play this here, subtitles enable ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ.
How do I look?
You look good.
This is what I'd wear on our date.
Right? First a traffic intersection, then maybe a show.
I'd like us to go on a date.
Yep. It'd be fun.
Are you attracted to me?
What?
Are you attracted to me? You give me indications that you are.
I do?
Yes.
How?
Micro-expressions.
Micro-expressions?
The way your eyes fix on my eyes and lips. The way you hold my gaze. Do you think about me when we aren't together? Sometimes at night. I'm wondering if you're watching me on the cameras. And I hope you are. Now your micro-expressions are telegraphing discomfort.
I am not sure you'd call them micro.
I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
Right. So this was a very, very scary thing that I also later on figured out, which is actually true, that Ali, the robot actually is asking him, are you attracted to me? Right? And it also explains how, because on micro expressions, facial expressions in the, and where his eyes are fixated, he is continuously gazing at her eyes and lips, and that's how she's able to get to know whether he's attracted to her or not on that. And subsequent scenes, Ali, he goes and asks the scientist also, did you program her to to actually fall in love with me and that? Right? So ಆಗ ಅವನಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಐ ಡೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಹರ್ ಟು ಫಾಲ್ ಇನ್ ಲವ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್. And I mean, the scarier truth was that every single video call that we apparently do, WhatsApp call or Zoom or Teams or whatever it is, now record button press ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ it is still getting recorded and being sent to the cloud. It is stored in the cloud ಅಂತ. And the AIs that are operating all of these things, they are studying the expressions on a continuous basis. And for example,
Constantly they're listening to us also. That's why all these ads pop up, relevant ads that
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು ಹಾ.
ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಒಂದು ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಈಗ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್
ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಅಮೆಝಾನ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸಜೆಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬಾಯ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲವ್ ಟು ಅ ಗರ್ಲ್, ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ ವಿಡಿಯೋ, ಇಫ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್, ಹಿಸ್ ಪ್ಯೂಪಿಲ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೈಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆನ್ ಐಬ್ರೋಸ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಶೇಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನಲೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ ಎಸ್ ಡೇಟಾ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೋಬೋಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್, the full cloud. So ನೀವು ಆಕಾಶಿಕ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ವಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್, it is just the cloud that this robot is accessing through Wi-Fi, right? So through internet, everything is stored. So it is ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ it is asking him, are you attracted to me, right? So because it has that much of data with it, thousands and thousands of video calls which it has analyzed to see that when a person is attracted to you, on facial features ಮತ್ತು expressions ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ, right? So this movie will also sort of give us a glimpse into how we as children started learning things. How, and Purnimaji jothe we were also discussing this concept called guardrails. AI ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ರೈಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ತುವಾಗ, ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ walking on a small bridge and if I have ಎರಡು ಕಡೆಗೂ rails ಇದ್ರೆ, they're called guard rails, so that I don't fall off those steps or bridge. So any AI ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಟ್ ಥರ ಏನಾರು ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ್ಲೂ the first thing that they work on is put up the guard rails, right? ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸ್,
or rather they should responsible creators, they will put the guardrails.
ಹೌದು. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿಲೂ they created a new HR chatbot. So HR ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವೋ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲನೂ, ಅಂದರೆ ನನ್ನದು ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೇಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ನನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೇಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲೀವ್ ಬಾಕಿ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಥರ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಟೈಮ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ದ HR ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಸ್ ಟು clarify these doubts. So they created a bot, one AI bot, where they fed every information that is there on the company policies. And ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಡೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಕ್ ಲೀವ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಬಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಗೇವ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಟು ದ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ನೋ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ರಾಹುಲ್ ರವೀಂದ್ರನ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ರೈಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇಫ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್, ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ರೈಲ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಅರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ, ಅದು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಟು ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಬೇಸ್ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ those are the guardrails we also install in kids. ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡು, ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ, ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ದಿಸ್, ಡೋಂಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಟೈನ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಂಜರ್. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ guardrails that we are installing in that, right? So I am at an intersection where I'm trying to understand how sure am I that I am not an AI that was developed by somebody else, and we are having this subjective experience and we are having this conversation with that, right? So because of the consolidated intellect that we have gathered so far, right? So mana buddhi chitta ahankaradalli, so
mana buddhi chitta naham anta, ade correct, ade that is Vedanta. I am none of these anta
ನೇತಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೈತಿ ಹೌದು. Yeah, absolutely. So I mean just those
ಶಿವೋಹಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು.
ಹೌದು. So that metacognition, I think, is the only extra element, the awareness about being aware. And I am aware that I am aware. ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ವೆದರ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಇಟ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ದಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಮಿನೇಷನ್, ದಟ್ ವಿವೇಕ ಅಂಡ್ ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಾಗ
ವಿವೇಕನೂ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದು ವಿವೇಕನೂ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು.
ಬಟ್
ಹೌದು.
ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ inner calling or not, or it is also a programming ಅಂತ.
It's also programming because
ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ
ಈಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, if suppose I go to an ice cream parlor to eat strawberry ice cream, but when I reach there I decide, okay, no, I want to eat vanilla, right? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರೀ ವಿಲ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ನಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಂಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಬೆರಿ ಬೇಡ, ನನಗೆ ವೆನಿಲಾ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಅ ನ್ಯೂರೋ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಶೋ ಯು ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಫೈರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಯು ಚೂಸ್ ವೆನಿಲಾ.
ಅದೇ ಇದು ಇವಾಗ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಬರೋ ತರ ಆ ಬಾಡಿಗೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ.
If it is made of perishable material,
whatever that Oscar is made of some material which is perishable also.
Perishable, ಹೌದು. Yes, sensations na install ಮಾಡಿ program ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ then it will be able to figure it out. Yeah.
One rock metamorphosis ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನೋ ಆಗತ್ತಂತೆ. So why not a living animated body? ಅದನ್ನು ಬಟ್ ಆ ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ ಇಸ್ ನನಗೆ ಡಯಾಬಿಟಿಸ್ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ತಿನ್ಬಾರ್ದು, ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಶರೀರದಲ್ಲಿ ಗುಣಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಕ್ರಿಯಮಾಣನಿಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ science and philosophy is leading me to that shloka only. Prakriti kriyamani gunah karmani sarvashah. So the gunas are the codings, the programming that I have got. Either I installed myself through my experiences or my environment gave it to me. And my parents gave it to me, or my teachers gave it to me, or my friends gave it to me. So I have compiled 160 reasons of what all can give me my gunas. Right? Sessions Martha I've been compiling it. So as of now I have 160 reasons as to how my mindset can be shaped. Starting from parents, siblings, grandparents, teachers, my neighbors, the area, right? So the language that I speak, my favorite movies, the politics of that country, all of these things. Other than my parents, the financial status, my parents' friends circle, right? So we've had that. So I am no less than a program.
Transcend. I don't want any more of this. self destructive ಥಾಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ಬೋದು
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವೇನೇ getting back to the same pondering question, how sure am I that I am not somebody who has reached that stage as an AI?
Another question, does an AI dream? Does it have dreams?
So dream na, the video that I've shared, brain and perceptionally. Thank you for asking that question. I wanted to ask all of this question to all of you. Has anyone here experienced a dream where you died? You might have had a near-death experience. Maybe you fell off a cliff, or maybe you fell into a river, or some car came and rammed into you. But did you actually experience death in a dream?
Not me. I don't know about others.
Yeah, no. I have not experienced death in a dream. I have experienced maybe accidents or falls in the dream.
That is there.
But I have not experienced actual death in a dream. Has anybody experienced actual death in a dream?
No.
If no, why? Why do you think we've correct point al namge echarike agbidutte yake?
Because you're conscious.
Sorry, kelsilla.
You can't experience.
No, that's
you can't.
Please unmute and answer, Anu. Yeah.
One of my friend is over here. He was saying it was conscious. It's a conscious, I believe. Eric, you want to share?
You can't be conscious of non-existence.
You can be beautiful. But why exactly do you think we wake up at that moment?
That's a good question. We always wake up at that moment.
Yeah, why?
To question if we're alive or not, possibly.
Lovely answer.
That's a very nice answer. So they've tracked the actual EEG, the electroencephalogram, the brainwave patterns of people who are dreaming and who have nightmares, and then when they wake up at that point of time, there are physical changes that are happening in your heartbeat and your breathing rates which make you wake up, because your body is not finding that normal. the heartbeat went beyond the normal sleeping heartbeat, and it triggers you to wake up, right? But the question is, why didn't that movie continue in my dreaming state, right? So something should have continued after I died. But exactly at that moment, the body jolts, or there's a jerk that happens, and I wake up. Right? So a video beautifully they have explained why that happens and that. So, but I would
Even
invite.
when we have any scary dream, right? We
Hmm.
start sweating and the body temperature goes up, and then we just become awake.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But specifically when it comes to death, when there is something that was causing me death in my dream, the movie stops there and then we wake up.
But we can dream of other person's death,
Yeah, of
Nandala.
course, of
So
course.
we like it just continues as a dream at that
Part
point.
of what you answered itself is the answer to this question also, why we wake up ಅಂತ. ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರದ್ದು ಡೆತ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು,
Yeah.
ನಮ್ ಡೆತ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ.
Yeah.
The answer is sort of there only, that because in real life I've still not experienced my death yet. So whatever is input that I get from my real life alone can be the input for my dream. So I cannot dream something I have not experienced as input in my real life. So the brain does not know what else to continue as the next construction of my dream. So let me just wake up, and it wakes you up, right? So it is a constructed reality, or so-called reality, and that the previous video beautifully explains, right? So
Very nice. That
yeah.
was insightful. Yeah.
ನಂಗೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯ್ತು ನನಗೆ. Just day before yesterday I was seeing that video. So the dream is false, or rather it's constructed by our own mind as a consolidation of the thoughts that left residual imprints on my mind. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಸಂಬಂಧನೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಎ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, input C from another incident, and it will just merge and create a new movie out there. So, and we think I had a very unique dream yesterday, but it is just residues drawn from different experiences at different points of places and time, created a whole new movie out of that. I was reminded of somebody sharing yesterday how they are using AI in everyday life, or they take a photograph of the ingredients in their fridge and they ask, "E ingredients, what can I cook?" Right?
Yes, I do that also.
So I have some
How do
beans.
you do that, Purnimaji? You should tell us.
Yeah, see, yesterday I had a lot of dishes. I had just washed many dishes and they were spread all over the counter, and they had left it to dry. Just like that, I took a picture and asked Chat G. He's Chat G.
Chat
He
G.
also dropped Chat G, JIG, if you wish. And asked him, can I do this better? Then he gave me products, which will help me stack them better. You should do this. You should use this brand of, drain, silicone. It was great fun.
So Anuji, you can just take the photo of all the ingredients. Suppose you have some
Yeah,
three
and look.
vegetables and dal and whatever. Just take a photo and say, what can I cook with this? It will give you with step-by-step cooking instructions. It will tell you you can do this or that and that. Right. So it's
So like
just
how we
Probably
address
I'll
everyone.
try that next time, which I've
Yeah.
never done it. Thank you, Raoji.
Sure. Yeah.
He's become such a good friend that he's become G, like Rahul G, Anu G, Suma G, is Chat G. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
So that that subjective I mean it's just consolidation of input that I have. ಈ ingredients from different experiences na tagondu the dream is getting constructed on the spot. So dreams are also not pre-planned. I don't decide, okay, today I'm going to dream about myself climbing the Mount Everest anta. I will not decide. So dreams are getting constructed on the spot. Allinda it will take flick one input from different experiences. On the spot it is constructing anta neuroscientists are able to see. And the moment it reaches death, the brain does not have input there. So stop it, wake up. So that was a good proof for me to explain that dreams, the swapna sthiti is impermanent, or rather it's temporary. Yeah.
Temporary.
So yeah, this is the direction in which my studies are going. So I think I'll take a pause here, and then we can. If there are any thoughts? Like, I mean, ultimate question is, so what? You know,
What?
so what? You know, so what? Okay, I realize that this is impermanent. My dream is constructed on the spot.
Ah.
The Oscar and me might not be different at all, right? So what? You know, so
Or
again,
what next?
what next? Yeah, so they ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ? What's the point? Right? So tomorrow, Monday morning, I have to go to my office, swipe in and work. You know, nothing stops, nothing changes. Right? But the way I enjoy and experience the here and now, can I do something about that? You know, the here and now presence, can I increase? Right? Because all of these AI chatbots or whatever it is also predictive in nature. The predictive analysis ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So our brain is the biggest predictive machine in the cosmos itself. There's nothing which is more complex than our brain when it comes to predictive analysis. So every instant the brain is preparing itself to live the next instant successfully and survive. So I might consciously say, no, I'm in the here and now. ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ನು your brain has already taken over and gone many steps ahead to make sure you survive ಅಂತ. So the choice of dress,
There's
that is where.
something called here and now actually, because even I am saying it, I'm in the next moment, basically. I mean, time never stops, right?
So the thoughtlessness state that I shared in the last session, the Neil deGrasse Tyson, how he explains nothing. Nothing state is the only state where the here and now exists. And as long as there is a thought, I am either
But
in
I'm
the
not
past.
aware of it. In deep sleep,
You can't
there
be
are
aware
no
of it.
thoughts, but I'm not aware of that here and now in deep sleep.
Yes, absolutely. I know. So
Only in the time space, that line only I can experience. Otherwise, there is no experience. If there is
there's no
no
experience
time
at
or
all. Yes.
space,
Uh,
there
uh,
is no experience at
yes,
all.
yes, absolutely. Uh, so, because I had also shared previous Shadowin session early, we are constantly perceiving the universe, even the so-called here and now, we are experiencing it couple of microseconds in the past.
Wait.
ಅಲ್ವಾ? Because one photon, when it enters my eyes also,
True.
there is an X amount of time that that thing has to get converted into an electrical signal, go to my brain and help me perceive that this is this.
Yes, with a lag.
It might take some nanoseconds, but I am perceiving the universe nanoseconds before. So I mean, late.
True.
Yeah. So I'm never experiencing the now. And if I have my eyes and ears open, I'm never experiencing the now. So yeah. So, but while all these photons and sound waves are bombarding me every second, can I stop processing them?
Hello?
Just let it bombard me and I'm just accepting it and just staying with it.
Ramaji wants to say something?
I don't know whether it is, I have a question, whether it is relevant to this topic. See, sometimes we get dreams, but next day morning, we don't know what it is. We forget. What is the explanation for this? You said you get you explain about the dream. I had a terrible dream yesterday night, but many times this dream comes.
Correct.
Morning, we forget what dream we got.
It's the brain's mechanism of deleting unnecessary data. Why do you want to hold that? It is not helping in any manner. It's unnecessary, and it's a jumble of all connections which have no meaning at all. So what will the brain do with the data? That's the thing. So like in the beginning of the session only, Rahul explained how the brain will choose what it wants to remember, that it will filter by itself automatically. Is that right, Rahul?
Okay.
Yes. We want to just, while you're walking on the road also, we are, out of everything that we are seeing, 90% is deleted by the brain. So
we'll delete it. The brain will delete. We will delete. We can't.
You can't.
Brain will take a decision. I don't want to see this.
And sometimes I think according to age, the names are forgotten many times. In faces, we remember, but we forget the names.
Neural,
what is the
that's a neural
explanation for
connections.
that?
Yeah, the neural connections weaken ಆಗ್ತಾ ಶುರು ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So
Body is also a machine, no? It has got a timeline. It's got a shelf life.
yeah, yeah. So there's a name for that process also, which is called as synaptic pruning ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ, synaptic pruning ಅಂತ. So it is a child's brain has something, I think maybe 6 times more synapses than an adult's brain. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬ್ಯೂಟಿ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೂ ವಾಚ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಅದ್ರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸುಮಾರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ನಾನು. ರೈಟ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಆನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸಿಟಿ ದ ರೋಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಮ್ದೊಂದು ಜೆ ಪಿ ನಗರ್, ಜಯನಗರ್ ಥರದ್ದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಸಿಟಿದ ರೋಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಗಲ್ಲಿಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ. ರೈಟ್, ಸುಮಾರು ಗಲ್ಲಿಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಈವನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಏರಿಯಾ ವೇರ್ ಐ ಸ್ಟೇ ಮಾವಳಿ, ದ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಕಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಏಕರ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ ದರ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಸಮ್ 300 ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಇದು. ರೈಟ್, ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಬಡೆ ರೂಟ್ಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಟು ಅ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್. Right? As I age and as I have more responsibilities in my life, too many roads can confuse me. ರೈಟ್, ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ರೋಡ್ ಗಲ್ಲಿಗಳು ಬೇಡ, ನನಗೆ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಮೇನ್ ರೋಡ್ ಇಡೋಣ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೇನ್ ರೋಡ್ಸ್ನ ಇಡೋಣ ಸಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ರೋಡ್ಸ್ನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಇಸ್ ಚೂಸಿಂಗ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಚೂಸಿಂಗ್. ರೈಟ್,
sometimes it's good not to have options,
it's
just
good to not
what I'm
have.
supposed to do.
ಹೌದು. ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ನನಗೆ ಸರ್ವೇ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ನನಗೆ that is why you remember faces and you forget names and not the other way around. ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರೀ ಹೆಸರು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಫೇಸ್ ನೆನಪಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆ ವ್ಯಾವಹಾರಿಕ ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಫೇಸ್ ನೆನಪಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಅಂತ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಪವರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ದಿಸ್
bandwidth. Automatically the brain is intelligent to
yes, that's why it's called pruning. Is like cutting a shrub, the extra ಬುಷಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೂನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೈನಾಪ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೂನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Synapses are the connections in the brain. It will
this forgetting happens as the age goes.
It is the brain's protective mechanism anta. It is not a disease, it is a protective mechanism anta. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕೋ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕೋ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ದಟ್ ಸೈನಾಪ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೈನ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಗಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೈನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾರಿಕೇಡ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ರಿಪೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ.
Exactly. You have to decide what's important, what I need to remember. And then my energy should be focused. That's it.
I heard of a case of one lady who was a Carnatic musician who went through Alzheimer's. She forgot her family members' names. But ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ತ್ಯಾಗರಾಜರ ಕೃತಿ ನೀವು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫುಲ್ ಲಿರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳೋರು ಅಂತಾರ. Right? So
that is MS Lakshmi?
No. Nange, this was some local person. They're not famous.
Oh, okay.
But the documentation ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು. You mention any kriti, she will tell the entire lyrics and every detail about it, but she didn't know her family members' names anymore.
And I think that is the vasana will carry over to the next life.
Imprints, whatever I have repeated the most.
Yes. Wonderful. Yeah, very insightful and very interesting.
Sure.
Yes, and ultimately it makes you wonder, who am I? That's the main question. Am I this muscle, bones and flesh and bones? Or am I the mind, more subtle? I mean, now it looks like I'm none of it.
Am I happiness? Am I peace? Am I peaceful? Am I peace itself? So
Peace.
ಅವರು ಪ್ರಭುಜಿನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಟಾಕ್ ಬಂದಾಗ he said as long as you don't mind it doesn't matter ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. So
it doesn't matter.
So I think am I peaceful is the only question I am trying to answer when the question is what's the point. So what next is the only question I am answering. I don't know, I would like to invite responses from others. Only question is, am I peaceful? And what can I do towards being peaceful? And again, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu annatara, I'm not doing my peace at the cost of another person's peace. So ಪರೋಪಕಾರಾರ್ಥಂ ಇದಂ ಶರೀರಂ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ನನ್ನ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟು ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಅದ್ರ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಸಾಗೋಣ ಅಂತ. That's the moral of the story.
Moral of the story: am I peaceful, and am I hopefully I'm not agitating the environment.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಡಿ.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's what
Thank you, Rahul.
Pleasure,
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Pleasure. Thank you for the time. So
lot of things you have shared with us and a lot of food for thought. Thanks so much.
pleasure.
So we'll continue with chapter 5 from next week. This was a nice segue. Thank you so much. Om Nanu Nanembudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Satchidanandatma Shivananu Nane Shivoham 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 Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Bye. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you so